Okay, so now let's go ahead and see a demo, or let's understand how we can perform buffer overflow attack on a Windows system. So I have taken one Windows system running Windows 7 over here, and another my attacker system is going to be simply the Kali Linux, right? So and Windows 7 will be my victim system. Now in order to complete the attack, we would need Immunity Debugger for Windows analysis, memory analysis, and it's a free tool that you can easily get from this specific link, or even you can Google for Immunity Debugger for Windows. You just have to make a small registration and you will be able to download the application, right? We would also need Python to send or make a program which will send some request to our victim system to compromise the system. Now to showcase the example very detailed or great way, I have taken an example of Minishare, a particular tool that is used for sharing file between two system, right? And it is having the remote overflow buffer overflow exploit already. So you can also go to this link, download, I mean not download the exploit, you can download the specific vulnerable application and then start installing on your Windows system and then start hitting. So I have gone ahead and basically downloaded this Minishare application already. So this is where this is my Minishare application, and I'm just going to say go ahead and start running. So this is where my Minishare application is running, and I will go to my Kali system now. And what we are going to do is our target system is going to be the Windows system. So let's say perform an nmap scan. So nmap hyphen sb, let's say 10, sorry, it will be 192.168.233.129. Now while the scan gets complete, the emulate or scenario that we want to emulate here is like from our Kali system we will send the script or payload so that it will attack our Windows system and give us the shell back or remote Windows system shell back. Now over here, that is a simple attack, but to understand it better, what we are going to do is we will send various payload from our Kali system to our Windows system and analyze how the process is causing the buffer overflow in the remote system, and that way we can understand it better so that we can learn how exactly or which exactly part of memory is getting attacked by our payload. That way we can understand better, right? So Minishare typically operates on port number 80. So I will just go ahead and show you one simple connections. I will say nc-nb 192.168.233.129. The reason I know because I have already installed and tried demo of it. So it has opened the communication port 80 to our from our to our 190 129 system, right? So where if you go to, this is the Minishare UI. This is basically a typical file server kind of application. So if you could see here, if I go to view connection, okay, it's still taking some time to communicate. Let's say view connection. Just give me a moment. Yeah, you could see here, right? Our remote Kali IP address, that is 137, which is already connected to our Minishare file system, right? So now let's go ahead and you can perform file transfer and other thing, but that's not the whole objective here. We want to perform attack on our Windows system, right? So yeah, our nmap scan is completed. Now if you look at the scan output, you will see that on port number 80 Minishare HTTP interface 1.4.1 it is running. So now let's take an example or take a sample Python code to programmatically communicate to our remote Windows system and try performing attack on it. So I'll be taking a simple example. So let me open sample, sorry, sample.py. This is basically a simple Python file that will communicate to our remote Windows system, right? Now if you could see the, let's understand this Python script in brief. So this is using Python language. I am importing this socket and system library to perform socket communication, right? So I'm creating sock communication, and using the same socket class I can create socket.af underscore inet, which will be using for your Python, sorry, networking IPv4 or IPv6 communication. And since our socket is going to be a stream of data that we are sending, so it will be using sock underscore stream. Now to sock connect, we are connecting here and we are taking system argument, sysdoc argument like runtime and argument while running the program. Will providing a argument to this particular program, and which will be taken as an input here and connected with the port number 80. Now the buffer is an another, like the value that we are sending, that is a get request with 3000 of a, and it is a simple HTTP request, so it is having slash r slash n as your next line or new line kind of thing. Right now finally we'll send this buffer using sock.send, and we'll also finally close this socket communication. So this is the simple program. What the program is going to do is like send a get request to our mini file server or the vulnerable server with 3000 of a, right? So let's go ahead and run and verify whether our exploit is running or not, or whether the remote system is getting crashed or not, right? So I will say python, right, and I will type the argument, so sample.py, and I will pass the argument 192.168.233, which is the target IP address as per design, right? So let's go ahead and see, make sure that it is running. Now as soon as I press enter, here our mini file share server should get crashed as per our program. Now if you could see, a communication came to here with ID 14 and 233.1 from 137, and it has crashed now. So this has caused, like by sending some junk of a of 3000 of a, we were successfully able to make a crash to the system, or which indicates that there is chances of our buffer overflow that can happen, right? So next we will see how we can use immunity debugger to analyze further.